Om Gam Ganpate Namaha. Om Sai Ram. Chapter 14. In this chapter, we'll be knowing about Ratanji Wadi of Nanded, Saint Mauli Sahib, Dakshina Mimansa. In the last chapter, we described how Baba's word and grace cured many incurable diseases. Now, we shall describe how Baba blessed Mr. Ratanji Wadia with an issue. The life of this saint is naturally sweet in and out. His various doings, eating, walking, and his natural sayings are also sweet. His life is bliss incarnate. Sai gave it out as means of his devotees' remembrance to him. He gave them various stories of duty and action, which ultimately led them to true religion. His object may be that people should live happily in this world, but they should be ever cautious and gain the object of their life, that is, self-realization. We get a human body as a result of merits in past birth, and it is worthwhile that with its aid we should attain devotion and liberation in this life. So, we should never be lazy, but always be on the alert to gain our end and aim of life. If you daily hear the Leelas, that is stories of Sai, you will always see him. Day and night, you will remember him in your mind. When you assemble Sai in this way, your mind will lose its fickleness, and if you go on in this manner, it will finally be merged in pure consciousness. Ratanji of Nanded. Now, let us come to the main story of this chapter. In Nanded, in the Nizam state, there lived a Parsi milk contractor and trader by name Ratanji Sapurji Wadia. He had amassed a large amount of money and had acquired fields and lands. He had got cattle, horses, and was very prosperous. To all outward appearances, he looked very happy and content. But inwardly, he was not so. Providential dispensation is such that no one in this world is completely happy and rich. Ratanji was no exception to this. He was liberal and charitable, gave food and clothing to the poor, and helped all in various ways. The people took him to be a good and happy man, but Ratanji thought himself miserable, as he had no issue, male or female, for a long time. As kirtan, that is singing glories of the Lord without love or devotion, music of singing without rhythmical accompaniments, Brahman without the sacred thread, proficiency in all arts without common sense, pilgrimage without repentance, and ornamentation without a necklace are ugly and useless. So is the house of a man or householder without a male issue. Ratanji always brooded on this matter and said in his mind, would God ever be pleased to grant me a son? He thus looked morose, had no relish for his food. Day and night, he was filled with anxiety whether he would ever be blessed with a son. He had great regard for Daskanu Maharaj. He saw him and opened his heart before him. Daskanu advised him to go to Shirdi, take Baba's darshan, fall at his feet and seek his blessings and pray for an issue. Ratanji liked the idea and decided to go to Shirdi. After some days he went to Shirdi, took Baba's darshan and fell at his feet. Then, opening a basket, he took out a beautiful garland of flowers and placed it around Baba's neck and offered him a basket of fruits. With great respect, he then sat near Baba and prayed to him, saying, many persons who find themselves in difficult situations come to you and you relieve them immediately. Hearing this, I have sought anxiously your feet. Please therefore do not disappoint me. Sai Baba then asked him for dakshina of 5 rupees, which Ratanji intended to give, but added that he has already received 3 rupees 14 paise from him and that he should pay the balance only. Hearing this, Ratanji was rather puzzled. He could not make out what Baba meant. That was the first time he thought that he went to Shirdi. And how was it that Baba said that he had formerly got 3 rupees and 14 paise from him? He could not solve the riddle. But he sat at Baba's feet and gave the balance of the dakshina asked for, explained to Baba fully as to why he came and sought his help, and prayed that Baba should bless him with the son. Baba was moved and told him not to be worried, and at that time his bad days had ended. He then gave him Hudi, placed his hand on his head, and blessed him, saying that Allah would satisfy his heart's desire. Then, after taking Baba's leave, Ratanji returned to Nanded and told Daskanu everything that took place at Shirdi. He said that everything went all well there, that he got Baba's darshan and blessing with prasad. But there was one thing which he could not understand. Baba said to him that he had got 3 rupees and 14 paise before. Please explain as to what Baba meant by this remark. He said to Daskanu, I never went to Shirdi before, and how could I give him the sum to which Baba referred? To Daskanu also it was a puzzle, and he pondered much over it for a long time. Sometime afterwards, it struck him that Ratanji had received some days ago a Mohammedan saint by name Mauli Sahib in his house and had spent some money for his reception. This Mauli Sahib was well known to the people of Nanded. When Ratanji decided to go to Shirdi, this Mauli Sahib accidentally came to Ratanji's house. Ratanji knew him and loved him, so he gave a small party in his honor. Daskanu got from Ratanji the idea of Mehmana, retired Mamlatdar and a great devotee of Baba, and everybody was wonderstruck an article on this subject. Expenses amounted to Sai Satcharitra magazine, 14 paise, volume 7, nothing more, age 6 to 26. They all came to know that Baba was as follows: that though he lived in Shirdi, did not ask he knew what happened outside, far away from Shirdi, without being asked. In fact, he sometimes accepted the past and at times he refused it, and could identify himself in devotees heart and soul with any. He never demanded it in this particular devotees. Who thought in their minds that Baba should ask him for it, and they should the amount spent there. If anybody offered unless he could identify himself with him, never touched one with him, kept it there. Ratanji was satisfied with this explanation, and his faith in Baba small or big amounts from devotees according to their wish, devotion, and convenience. And his joy he asked it even from women and children. It is said that he had never asked all a dozen issues, that is 12 issues, out of which only 4 survived with those from whom he asked Dakshina towards the end of this chapter. Did not give it. It is stated if any Dakshina was sent through some friend Sathi, forgot to hand over the same to his wife, he reminded him somehow of it and made him pay. Sathi married on some occasions. The first 2 issues by his wife were daughters, and he therefore felt very disappointed. The donor to guard it. The third issue was shrine for worship. Papa's first procedure benefited the donor. He was satisfied. If anybody offered more than he originally intended to give, close this chapter. He returned the extra with a few remarks about Dakshina. He asked more Dakshina. It's a well-known fact that what they originally intended for Dakshina from people. If they had no money, somebody may ask a question or borrow from others. From some, he demanded Dakshina 3 or 4 times a day. Why should he ask for Dakshina and care for money? We shall now consider this question broadly known. For a long time, Baba did not accept it and fuel for his donations that is satisfied with them. And all the rest he distributed as charity in various whether he be a devotee or persons. Of the paraphernalia of the Shirdi Sansthan was brought by various purchased oil at the instance and suggestion of some persons thought that they could not always the same oil and sold it those who bought costly and rich articles. He said that to Mr. Nana, if a piece was placed before him, that all his property consisted of one piece coin, it was one straight piece of cloth, then one after Papa's and a tumble that is a tin coin. And that all the people troubled numbers by bringing all these unnecessary useless and costly articles. It is said that in the Shruti, that is Veda, on the 2 main that puja of the gods is not complete unless a golden coin was offered. Spiritual life and if a coin was necessary in the puja of the gods, why should it be not so in the puja of the saints also? Whenever they came to him, the Shastras expounded upon and asked them to go when one goes to see that is Radha Krishna Mai's house or Guru. If they stood should not comprehend that is, if they showed that they were free from attachment for women and wealth, their progress in spirituality. In this connection, we may notice that they serve Baba's Mandis and Upanishads. Mr. Dio has also quoted passages from the Gita and Upanishads and shown that charity implies the gods, men, and demons by holy personage conduces to the gods understood by this letter that they should practice what is first Dhamma, that is self-control. The men thought or understood that they should practice the second Dana, that is charity. The demons understood that they should practice, and third one is Daya, that is compassion. To men, charity or giving was recommended. The teacher in the Taittiriya Upanishad exhorts his pupils to practice charity and other virtues. Regarding charity, he says, give with faith, give with magnanimity, that is, liberally, give with modesty, with awe, and with sympathy, in order to teach the devotees the lesson of charity and to remove their attachment to money, and thus to purify their minds. Baba extracted Dakshina from them. But there was this peculiarity, as Baba said, that he had to give back 100 times more of what he received. There are many instances in which this has happened. To quote an instance, Mr. Ganpatrao Bodas, the famous actor, says in his Marathi autobiography that on Baba's pressing him often and often for Dakshina, he emptied his money bag before him. The result of this was, as Mr. Bodas says, that in later life he never lacked money as it came to him abundantly. There were also secondary meanings of Dakshina, in many cases, in which Baba did not want any pecuniary amount. To quote 2 instances, the first one, Baba asked 15 rupees as dakshina from Professor G.G. Narke, who replied that he did not have even a pie. Then Baba said, I know you have no money, but you are reading Yoga Vashishta. Give me dakshina from that. Giving dakshina in this case meant deriving lessons from the book and lodging them in the heart where Baba resides. In the second case, Baba asked a certain lady, Mrs. R.A. Tarkar, to give 6 rupees as dakshina. The lady felt pain as she had nothing to give. Then her husband explained to her that Baba wanted 6 inner enemies, that is, lust, anger, greed, hatred, etc., to be surrendered to him. Baba agreed with this explanation. It is to be noted that though Baba collected a lot of money by dakshina, he would distribute the whole amount the same day, and the next morning he would become a poor fakir as usual. When Baba took his Mahasamadhi after receiving thousands and thousands of rupees as dakshina for about 10 years, he had only a few rupees in his possession. In short, Baba's main object in taking dakshina from his devotees was to teach them the lessons of renunciation and purification. Postscript. Mr. B.V. Deo of Thana, retired Mamlatdar and a great devotee of Baba, has written an article on this subject, that is Dakshina, in the Sri Sai Leela magazine, volume 7, page 6 to 26, in which he says amongst other things as follows. Baba did not ask dakshina from all. If some gave dakshina without being asked, he sometimes accepted it, and other times he refused it. He asked it from certain devotees only. He never demanded it from those devotees who thought in their minds that Baba should ask them for it and they should pay it. If anybody offered it against his wish, he never touched it, and if he kept it there, he asked someone to take it away. He asked for small or big amounts from devotees according to their wish, devotion, and convenience. He asked it even from women and children. He never asked all the rich for it or from all the poor. Baba never got angry with those from whom he asked dakshina and who did not give it. If any dakshina was sent through some friend who forgot to hand over the same to Baba, he reminded him somehow of it and made him pay it. On some occasions, Baba used to return some sum from the amount tendered as dakshina and ask the donor to guard it or keep it in his shrine for worship. This procedure benefited the donor or devotee immensely. If anybody offered more than he originally intended to give, he returned the extra amount. Sometimes he asked more dakshina from some than what they originally intended to give, and if they had no money, asked them to get or borrow from others. From some, he demanded dakshina 3 or 4 times a day. Out of the amount collected as dakshina, Baba spent very little for his own sake, that is, for buying a chillam, a clay pipe, and fuel for his dhuni, that is, sacred fire, and all the rest he distributed as charity in varying proportions to various persons. All the paraphernalia of the Shirdi Sansthan was bought by various rich devotees at the instance and suggestion of Radha Krishna Mai. Baba always used to get wild and scolded those who bought costly and rich articles. He said that to Mr. Nana Sahib Chandorkar that all his property consisted of 1 cord piece, 1 stray piece of cloth, 1 kafni, and a tumbrel, that is a tin pot, and that all the people troubled him by bringing all these unnecessary, useless, and costly articles. Woman and wealth are the 2 main obstacles in the way of our Paramatma, that is, spiritual life, and Baba provided in Shirdi 2 institutions, viz. Dakshina and Radha Krishna Mai. Whenever they came to him, he demanded dakshina from them and asked them to go to the school, that is, Radha Krishna Mai's house. If they stood these 2 tests well, that is, if they showed that they were free from attachment for women and wealth, their progress in spirituality was rapid and assured by Baba's grace and blessings. Mr. Deo has also quoted passages from the Gita and Upanishads and shown that charity given in a holy place and to a holy personage conduces to the donor's welfare to a great degree. What is more holy than Shirdi and its presiding deity, Sai Baba? Bow to Shri Sai, peace be to all. Sai Ram.